What happened with Loris Delon? Yes, your former superior. We have received some letters about her. The writers of said letters have expressed their concern that she's not, how should I put this? She's not entirely impartial when it comes to the conflict between House Indoril and House Hlalu. Given the recent events, I feel obliged to find the truth of the matter. You know Loris Delon quite well, wouldn't you say? How do you view her? Do you think she favors one house over the other? She has no favorites. She favors the Hlalu. She favors the Indoril. I don't know, really. I would prefer not to answer. Yeah, that's true. She does favor House Hlalu. Right? She definitely does. She protected Kalisha the first time round with regards to not getting, what's his name, the Smith Indo, who was justifiably, like, he was very clearly wronged. And then she aided and abetted her escape. Yeah, she's got a clear House Hlalu bit of favoritism, you know, no doubt about it. But I also have that, so I'm going to say she has no favorites. When we had last left the Nerevarine, well, their adventures in Almasthur continued with them doing more work for the temple there. And as they did more, so too did the tensions between the Great House Indoril and Great House Hlalu forces in the area continued to mount. The tension began to boil over as none other than Kalisha from before, the one who nearly killed the local smithy, she was in deep doo-doo because that same smithy sought vengeance upon her, and she took shelter and even converted to worshipping Almsivi and joining the temple, at the temple. And thankfully, they were able to get her out of there just before a whole bunch of House Indoril guards and troops decided to haul her away. Now it was time to do more work for the Temple of Almasthur. This is the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. This is Morrowind Mondays. Oh, also it's Tamriel Rebuilt. Welcome back. Zoop, zoop. There we are. Let's head on down here. Let's see. Who did I need to speak with? The same person, huh? I would assume so. Let me do a quick save just in case. Loris Delon.
Service, Outlander.
What brings you to the temple, Initiate? Have you been lax in your duties? I have, and I'm here to mend that. Oh. As it happens, I have no further duties for you. However, Eileen Taloth, in the Office of Intercession, has asked to speak with you. It is a great honor to be working for the Majordomo's office, Initiate. Make me proud. Okay. Can I ask about the Office of Intercession again? The office is in the Canton Plaza. Its head is Sarah Andor Orothi, the Majordomo of the crossing. Okay, Eileen Taloth, who I think we ran into before. Okay, let's head on back up here. Oh dear. Okay, there we are. And then this way. And around here. And good. Now, let me bring up my local map. Oh, Taloth Manor. Huh. I bet we'll go in there eventually. Alrighty, Office of Intercession, which I don't even really know fully what that means. Oh, here you are.
Spare a few moments, if you care to talk.
I do care to talk. Let me do a quick save in front of you. What brings you to the temple, Initiate? Have you been lax in your duties? I guess I have. Can you tell me about duties? Ready to work for the Office of Intercession, Initiate? Good. However, before I give you any duties to perform, we need to talk about Loris Delon. Oh, really? What happened with Loris Delon? Yes, your former superior. We have received some letters about her. The writers of said letters have expressed their concern that she's not... How should I put this? She's not entirely impartial when it comes to the conflict between House Indoril and House Hlalu. Given the recent events, I feel obliged to find the truth of the matter. You know Loris Delon quite well, wouldn't you say? How do you view her? Do you think she favors one house over the other? She has no favorites. She favors the Hlalu. She favors the Indoril. I don't know, really. I would prefer not to answer. Yeah, that's true. She does favor House Hlalu. Right? She definitely does. Right? She protected Kalisha the first time round, with regards to not getting, what's his name, the Smith Indo, who was justifiably, like, he was very clearly wronged. You know, he was very obviously wronged by House Hlalu. And then she aided and abetted her escape. Yeah, she's got a clear House Hlalu bit of favoritism. You know, no doubt about it. But I also have that, so I'm going to say she has no favorites. I also am not impartial. I'm also pro House Hlalu. I would prefer not to answer. Actually, I'll say. And I would prefer if you did answer. I will not offer you any duties before you do. She has no favorites. She favors the Hlalu. She favors the Indoril. I respectfully refuse. So we're going to have to do one of these. Okay, I don't think she has any favorites. Really? That's not what I've heard. It's been brought to my knowledge that she's been inclined to take the side of House Hlalu. Judging by the things that have happened, I don't think they're completely unfounded. It's a shame. A temple priest shouldn't choose sides like that. Well, you've answered my question. Are you ready for your duties? Okay, sure. I've received a letter from Sarenthul. They require our aid. Sarenthul? It is a temple infirmary dedicated to Saint Saren, where pilgrims rest to heal their wounds from their journeys, and ordinators rest from their injuries from combat. Alv Lethros, the healer in charge of the infirmary, has written to me requesting our aid. Go there and help him. Sarenthul is located north of here, on the eastern side of the river, just a mile east of Old Ebonheart. Okay. Tell me more of Sarenthul? Same. Tell me more about my duties? You know what to do. Go to Sarenthul, speak with Alv Lethros. What about House Hlalu? The petty bickering of the great houses is not our primary concern. However, if our council can help to avoid an open conflict between them, it's our duty to lend a hand to those of lesser competence. Anything more on Loris? I'm sure she thinks what she's doing is right, but I feel like I have to keep an eye on her. Can I ask about House Indoril with you? I can, but it's nothing unique. Okay. How about some advice? Do not stray from Velos' path. Think before you speak and speak before you act. A little secret? Evidently this is a secret for you. When you bother people who don't want to talk to you, they begin to dislike you. Oh my gosh. Tell me about Velos' path? Indeed, it's at this place where St. Veloth crossed the Thur River, leading our people to salvation. From here, the path continues to Almalexia and follows the eastern coastline up to Necrom. Can I persuade you any more? Yeah. Do you have anything new that popped up? Not really. Okay. Well, let's head over to Sarenthul, which I think we have totally been to Sarenthul before. Huh. Let me see, what was the exact directions? Eileen Taloth has received a letter from the Temple Infirmary of Sarenthul. They're requesting our aid. Eileen told me to go to the infirmary and speak with Alv Lethros, the healer in charge of the place. Sarenthul is located north of Almasthur, a mile east of Old Ebonheart. Yeah, haven't I been there? A mile east of Old Ebonheart. I think we've totally been there. Okay. Well, what's my best course of action to get there, in fact? We could just run. Right, we could just do that. Let's see. I'm going to recall. Also, in between videos, I did a minor amount of inventory management. There we go. Over here. And then...
We make a special.
Let's take the guild guide over to Old Ebonheart. Which, true enough, we could have taken the guild guide in Almas Thur, but I'm not as familiar with how to get to it, admittedly. Okay, and then Old Ebonheart.
Well, I see I stand in good
This is a grand day.
What can I do?
And a mile to the east.
If I can be of any assistance, I'll be happy to help.
Anything good here in this? None particular. I'll take that, I guess. Okay. Yeah, is this it right here? Is this Sarenthal? Yeah, Sarenthal Infirmary. Okay. Do they have a main entry point? No, okay. Maybe you enter through the infirmary, which I think is where... Yeah, that is where we need to go. Okay. Sure. Knock, knock. Anything interesting in here? Gonna pick into that. Let's see what we got. Invis, burden, fortify, speed, luck. Potion of paralysis. Restore strength. I'll eat some hackle low. Okay. Weeping Veil. Let's do a quick save in case I get killed here. They may be like under attack. Got some food down here, pumice stone, money. Oh, Weeping Veil. Okay. Now, who was it I was meant to talk to? Alvlethros. Is it you? It is. Okay. Hello, Alvlethros. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if I'm fully 100% ready to go.
You're from Almas Thur, yes? I need your help. Lavari Uvalar has escaped.
Has escaped? Okay. Who's that? Lavari.
She is an Ordinator of War, but went mad after stumbling into a cursed trap set by heretics, and now she's escaped. I don't think she's made it very far. She must be somewhere close to the infirmary. I just hope she hasn't fallen into the gorge. Find her and bring her back. Be careful, Lyle Schnub. She's not armed or particularly aggressive, but please don't upset her. Her mind is wounded. Take these scrolls in case you need to calm her down.
Scroll of the First Council. Okay. Tell me more about this person? Yeah, same. Okay, can I ask you about your background?
I am Alvlethros, Temple Politics child. There's a reason I'm responsible for this infirmary, and not the temple in Andothran. But my charges here are important nonetheless. I trust that the tribunal recognizes my faith, my value.
Tell me about Yvonne Saloth. How do I know Yvonne Saloth? Oh shit, that's why I know Sarenthal. Because this is where Yvonne Saloth from the little fishing village went. Oh my god, we need to check. Yvonne Saloth.
You know him? A tragic case, really. Came to us all the way from Imra. He was hardly lucid when he arrived, and I'm afraid his state has only deteriorated since. He doesn't speak, only makes those strange noises now, and his skin is suffering from a strange affliction no potion has been able to cure. Whatever it is that happened to him in Imra must have shaken him to his very core. But don't worry, we will do our best to keep your friend safe here.
Tell me about Serental itself.
Here in this tower, pilgrims rest to heal their wounds from their journeys, and Ordinators rest from their injuries from combat. We follow the creed of Saint Seren, the healer, doing our best to help the ill on their road to recovery.
Okay. Where can I find my friend?
How wonderful. Welcome, Outlander.
Oh. It's good to see you again, Lyle Schnub. Terasa Melvos? Dreams of a Flood. Is this the person we talked to in Andothran? Right? Remember that? Way, way long ago. In fact, I'm so shocked that I even remember it. She came out here? She was like standing out front of the Andothran temple? Dreams of a Flood. I hope the devout here will be able to help me.
That guy looks familiar.
Okay. I guess I may as well do all these. Sadly, none of them are powerful enough to give me magicka back. Okay. Oh. Let's look around here a bit. Wooden door 2. Is this our friend?
Three blessings.
This is Navam Renatus.
So tired, haven't slept in weeks. Sorry, Sarah, didn't notice you. I forget, have I met you before?
What's your background?
I'm Navam Renatus, just a woeful pilgrim in dire need of sleep.
Tell me about Serental?
The temple takes care of the sick and the afflicted here.
Okay. And you?
From where do you hail?
Elimiran? He weakly coughs. Hello, my friend. Or hello, friend. My name is Elimiran. Elimiran? Elimiran leans towards you. Hello, friend. I was wondering if you could retrieve something for me. You see, I've been meaning to relieve these nice people of their book called The Gospel of Saint Seren for the last few days, but Terrace over there won't let me out of her sight. Would you be a sweetheart and please fetch it for me? I don't have much, but I can offer you something in return. Something in return? Okay, sure. Well, fantastic. Now listen, it's upstairs on the altar. Hurry up and bring it back. I don't know how long I can keep this up. Oh, and don't get caught. Background? I'm Elimiran. I do a little of this, a little of that. Are you in the guild? I bet you are. Okay. Sure. Sounds like it. Okay, well, let's take this thing. Gospel of Saint Seren. Here we go. Amulet of Shadows. I'll do a quick save just in case. Good. Then we'll head down here.
If it bothers you so much,
Hello. There's no help for you here, Outlander. Your attitude is incurable. Oh, I thought you liked me. Okay, here you go, Elimiran. Wow, you really are something. To tell you the truth, this was my first attempted heist, and you had to bail me out like that. Next time, I'll come in with an actual plan. But for now, do you mind handing that book over? Okay. You're a real lifesaver. A deal is a deal. Here's something for your help. 2 potions of telekinesis. Okay. What's your deal, Elimiran? That's my name, friend. Is there anything I can do for you? You gave me 2 potions of telekinesis, and that's it. Okay. about you? Do I know you? Taurus Tamaris? Welcome to Serenthul. There are healing altars on the floor above, or if you'd like, I have a good stock of healing potions available. Your background? I'm Taurus Tamaris. Believe it or not, my roots lie with the Telvanni, but they are interested only in power. The only form of power I care about is gratitude from the Mer I've healed. Aw. Tell me about Yvonne Saloth. Oh, this is the same as before. Where is he? I really want to see him. And hear him, I guess. Maybe down here? Oh, look at all this. Oh shit, this is Yvonne Saloth, holding a spooky blue lantern. Oh yeah, look, he's barnacled up.
Glub, glub, glub.
What has happened to you, Yvonne? Yes, it's me, Yvonne, your friend. Can you speak, Yvonne? Your face, you've turned into a monster. We can finally realize what's going on, you know? Way back in Imra, this fourth option would have never been available. What happened to you, Yvonne?
Glub, glub.
Don't worry, Yvonne. They'll take good care of you here. I don't understand. What are you trying to say? I'm so sorry, Ivan. Or Yvonne. I wish I could help you. You'd be better off dead, my friend. I don't understand. What are you trying to say? With immense difficulty, Yvonne Saloth's lips move. You see his blackened tongue trying to form words. What is it? Please, you don't have to speak. What is it?
Pa.
What are you trying to say? Goodbye, Yvonne. What are you trying to say?
Paradma.
Goodbye. Okay, instead of saying goodbye, it should have been an option. It's the only option, just like the goodbye. But it should have just been like all caps. No! Okay. Anything else here? Can I talk to you about anything?
Paradma, glub, glub, glub.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Anything else? Let's check this area as it goes into the rocky portion. Oh. Who are you all?
You've got my
Just
ear. Let's hear it.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm Giscon. I've taken to resting here before I resume my pilgrimage. Can I admire you any? Yep. What's your background? Giscon is my name. Hammerfell had no place for a man of my political convictions. I've taken to my own path. How about Elamiran? He seems much better now. I'm not sure what you did, but thank you, Lyle Schnub. And what of Yvonne Saloth? He's a madman, from Imra. Dangerous too, I bet. They keep him downstairs. Stay away from him. Okay. What about you? Man, you got even more books over here. Some enchanted scrolls. Namaris Madrion.
This is quite an interesting selection of scrolls, don't you think, Outlander?
Background?
Where I come from is not important. What matters is where I am going, and who I meet along the way.
What? Your trade? Well, you're a pilgrim. Okay. Anyone or anything else here? Urvas Belvane. You're also an Ordinator.
Outlander, I am Urvas Belvane, Ordinator of Inquisition. I am on leave. That is all.
More on your background?
I am Urvas Belvane, an Ordinator of the Inquisition, of high standing, I might add. I have a storied history of purging heretics, but I'll spare you the details. I wouldn't want to come across as a braggart. I have my reasons for visiting Serenthul.
Huh. Are you sick with something? An obelisk of Saint Saren? Some eggs? Cool. I like this place, right? I feel like this makes a lot of sense. In fact, I'm shocked that we haven't seen more of places like these in mainland Morrowind. It's very reminiscent of the Corpusarium. You know? Makes sense that there would be some sort of place where they send people with afflictions that are seemingly incurable, or at the very least take a long time to work through. Okay, well, how did I get in here, and how do I leave? Or this way? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so nearby... Lavari Uvalar. Uvalar mustn't have gotten very far. And they were worried about her falling into the gorge. Okay, let's do a quick save. So where is the gorge from here? It's like straight ahead, no? Is this the gorge? Maybe I've seen this person before out here. I feel like that's entirely possible. Let me activate my speedy boots. Yeah, I don't know. Unless they really are in the gorge right now. That is possible. Do we think maybe they went inside of this shack? Duvana's shack? Is there anyone in here? Special floor of Tamriel? Okay. I'm going to go into the water. I feel like there's a decent chance they are in the water. Especially with this conveniently located, like, quasi-ramp right here. Maybe they were turned into a rat? No way. Okay. Okay, do I have, like... Detect enchantment key, detect key, detect animal. Yeah, I don't think I have anything to... I forget, is there even a detect humanoid? I don't think so. Huh. The trouble is that there's really no one else here to ask and get directions from, if they had seen them. Let's see, water, walking. Get that going. I don't see anyone inside of the water. I would say it's best that we clear this off our suspicions. Okay, I feel like we're getting too far out now. Signs of anyone up top? I don't think so. And then over here. Oh. Ishidur. Now that is suspicious. Should I go inside of there? Yeah, that might be the place to go for this quest. There's another structure right there. What is that? Do I know what this place is? Is this like a slave plantation or something? What is this? Usually they don't have these domes. This is more like temple architecture. This is Holly Warren. Probably a sign that we're too far out. Okay, so here's the normal place. And I couldn't ask anyone about this missing person. Could I? Let's see, maybe I can levitate a bit and see them from up above. It might be worth it to go back inside and check with a few of the NPCs in there. See if they have anything to say. You'd think it would have been lit up, however, as a dialogue option, which it most certainly was not. Okay. Yeah, dreams of a flood. Let me do a quick save again.
Have you found Lavari Uvalar?
No, I haven't. Tell me a rumor?
Rumors flow from the House of Troubles, child. I have learned that lesson.
Local area?
Peaceful and safe. Just stay clear of the Ashlands and the Dwemer ruined Bethung. Stick to the road and you'll find yourself on the way to Almalexia in the east, or Andothrin in the west.
Impressive. These clothes.
Down here, do you know of anything? No.
3 blessings, Sarah.
Do you? No, you don't know at all. Okay.
Greetings, Outlander. I think I've heard of you.
Well, let's check out those other 2 locations then that we had found. It's really the only lead I have. I mean, we could maybe ask around Old Ebonheart. Maybe she wandered over that way. They made a point of saying that she probably didn't get very far though. An Ordinator. Oh, look. Oh my gosh, yeah, I think I see her. Okay. Let's head over here. Good, good, good. What are you doing over here? It's you, ain't it? Yeah, Lavari Uvalar.
Outlander.
You are not a god, but you will be in my dreams. Oh, okay. Okay. What's your background? Ground? Here? No. Here, Almsivi rule inverted mountains filled with water, sloshing over the brims we build. Tell me about the ghost fence? Thanks to you, Nerevarine, Dagoth is dead and we don't need the ghost fence. Ghost gate? What insubstantial feints have pierced? The unsubstantiated rapier passes. Return to the infirmary. What's that? You want me to pick you up and throw you down into the gorge? What? No, I said I want you to come with me back to Sarenthal. Yeah, that's what I said. Now hurry up and throw me. Never mind. Yeah, that's what I said. Hurry up and throw me. What an unusual and horrible request. Now why would you want that? You see, I wonder what my body would sound like slamming against those rocks. That's why. Actually, what I really want is for you to return to the infirmary. Never mind. You see, I wonder what my body would sound like slamming against those rocks. That's why. It would probably sound something like Kurach splash, bones breaking, blood splattered everywhere. Beg your pardon, but that'd be insane. Are you sure you want that? Indeed I do. Actually, what I really want is for you to return to the infirmary. Never mind. Yeah, throw me. Oh dear, you're clearly suffering from soul sickness, but fear not. There happens to be a very good temple infirmary nearby where they can help you. It's called Sarenthal. Perhaps you know it. I'd accompany you there. Let's go, you lunatic. It worked. Okay, fuck, I just wanted her to throw me into the fucking rock river. Shit, okay. Don't you worry, my soul-sick friend. Everything will be alright once we get to Serenthal. Return to the infirmary? Yes, yes, we're going there. Don't you worry, you lunatic. You lunatic. Okay, I don't know, I was fully expecting to need to quick load. I don't know, I just really wanted her to throw me in there. I just wanted her to throw me in there. I was like, shit, I got enough acrobatics. I got like, I could slow fall or like pop out the levitation amulet just in the nick of time if it gets real grim. Okay. Yeah, well, you know what? Sometimes things just work out. Good, good, good. And then, let's head over this way. Good. Here we are. Oh, is this the place? Is this the infirmary? Wow, they're really gonna help me here.
Friend. Are you the one I've heard talk about?
What did I write down? I've successfully brought Lavari Uvalar back to the infirmary of Serenthal. Lavari Uvalar wants to accompany me to Serenthal. She thinks that I'm insane and in need of treatment. That's really funny. Okay, I like that. Take care of yourself, you lunatic. I don't want you to get hurt. I'll stay here and keep you company for a moment so you won't be lonely. Oh my god, does she love me? Does she love me now? Okay. Let's see. Let's go on over here. Let's see. Alv's Lethros.
We welcome you freely.
Alv, I've done it.
Have you found Lavari Uvalar?
I sure have.
You found her and brought her back. Excellent news. Eileen Teloth was indeed wise to choose you for this task. Thank you so much, Lyle Schnub. Take these healing potions as a reward.
Great. Anything else about this person, Lavari?
She is an Ordinator of War, but went mad after stumbling into a cursed trap set by heretics. Now she only spouts nonsense and warped scripture, bordering on blasphemy. She's not aggressive, but I don't want to risk upsetting her. So, Lyle Schnub, don't upset her.
Okay, well, I very nearly did upset her, I feel. Okay. Cool. Well, let's head over here. Does she have anything else to say? Only demons would spit on your face, Lyle Schnub. Oh my god, she loves me. She's in love with me. Wow. Okay. Let's head on out of here. Sorry, I just have a soft spot, I guess, in my heart for psychopaths and lunatics and freaks of various kinds. I guess that's just whoops, can't help it. Okay. Let's head on back over to... Shit, I guess we gotta go all the way to Almasthur, huh? Yeah. Let's see, we can take the guild guide from Old Ebonheart, right? Ought to be able to. Let me get my super speed active. Lovely. Let's see if I can find the guild. Is it one of these? Look, we haven't been to the thief or the mages guild here in a hot minute, and already I've forgotten. What a fool I am. Is this it? No. This is it. Okay. And then let's see here.
You choose to share your time with me? You humble me.
Can we go over to Almasthur? Yes. And then let's head on up and out here. Great. And then we'll go all the way up to the plaza for the Office of Intercession. I'm assuming we need to report back there. Did I write down anything? No? Okay. I wonder if that location at the end of the river is the quote-unquote trap that our mad Ordinator went into. You know, maybe it was in there. That seemed like the kind of cave that would have a 6th house base. Okay, let's see. Eileen Taloth.
Attention, Outlander.
What brings you to the temple, Initiate? Have you been lax in your duties? I haven't been. I've actually done pretty damn good here lately. Back from Serenthul. Excellent. I need you to perform some inquisitorial duties in Vys-Assanud. Okay, what does that involve? Vys-Assanud is a temple monastery dedicated to Saint Erelor. We have received reports that the monastery has become a nest of blasphemy and heresy. The Ordinators of War are eager to purge the monastery, and a contingent of them has camped outside the monastery, waiting for the order to strike. However, we want to make sure that the monks are indeed guilty before the purge. Oh my god. Okay. I need you to go to the monastery. Assume the mantle of the Inquisitor. Inspect the place and interrogate its inhabitants. Determine whether or not it needs to be purged, and instruct the Ordinators accordingly. I know you are a mere initiate, so make sure you're familiar enough with the temple law on heresy to perform this duty. These 2 books will help you. Study them before you make your judgment. May the 3 grant you wisdom. Let me know if you need directions to Vys-Assanud. Mantle of the Inquisitor. How to treat heretics. On the evils of heresy. We have read that, but we haven't read how to treat heretics. Tell me more about Vys-Assanud. It sits upon a mountainous island northwest of Almasthur. You can get there by crossing the bridge over to the west side of the river and then walking north through the Hlalu plantation land. It's just north of a farmstead called the Rethel House. The dome of the monastery is unmistakable. Okay. West side of the river, north through the Hlalu plantation land. Okay. More on Loris? As per my recommendation, she has been called to serve the temple in Almalexia. I couldn't let her foil the temple's efforts of maintaining the peace in Unthiran by so blatantly favoring the Hlalu. I trust that she will, in time, understand the error of her ways and learn to respect the great house of Indoril, and I trust that you too learn from her mistakes. Okay. Sure. Well, let's head on out then. Good. So what did we write down? Eileen Taloth told me that Ordinators have been sent to Vys-Assanud, a temple monastery with the intention of purging the place, if need be. Eileen asked me to play the part of an Inquisitor. She told me to inspect the monastery and interrogate its inhabitants, and then make the decision whether or not it should be purged. Let me wear the mantle. Oh, this is it. Constant effect. Fortify int, blunt, and destruction, 10 points. Oh, it's a big blue robe. Oh, okay. Neat. And let me read that. How to treat heretics. How long is it? Ooh, my gosh, it's kind of lengthy. How to Treat Heretics by Salvus Raelis of the Order of Doctrine and Ordination. Yeah, I guess we'll read this now because it is topical and it is involved in our current quest and all of that. It is inevitable that in our service to Almsivi and their holy temple we shall encounter souls which are not loyal to the tribunal. Whether these souls belong to the Sharmat, the House of Troubles, or any number of other perfidious sects, it is our duty as Ordinators to protect the faithful from the danger which these people represent. And while these souls are often irredeemable and must be purged with divine wrath, we must also attempt to emulate Almalexia, Mother of Mercy, and avoid unnecessary bloodshed. Children. Children will, admittedly, not be encountered frequently by those of the Order of War, Inquisition, or my own order, but the Order of the Watch will regularly encounter them in the execution of their daily duties, and must learn to interact with them. Occasionally, Ordinators will learn of heretical practices in town, and during their raids of homes and shrines will encounter the sons and daughters of heretics. Simply put, the young are not to blame for the blasphemous teachings their parents instill in them, as they lack the maturity and experience to reject the falsehoods taught to them, which unfortunately leaves these young souls deluded. I encourage Ordinators to try and be gentle and reassuring, as these children can become valuable members of the faithful under the tutelage of the temple, and some of them may even grow up to execute the will of the tribunal as Ordinators. Remember, they may grow violent during your raids while you are arresting or executing their parents, while you are expected to protect yourself, do remember that as a trained warrior, few of them can pose any significant threat to you. Show mercy and they may one day be reborn in service to the one true faith. The misled and ignorant. Not all those who are misled young are so fortunate to be ripped away from their deceivers by the temple, and some grow up having been lied to their whole life. Keep in mind that according to temple law, heresy is not heresy unless the non-believer refuses to be corrected, and those who are unaware that they are rejecting the truth are not heretics, nor are they guilty of any sin. Ordinators are encouraged to bring any non-violent heretics to the attention of the temple, who will instruct you on how to act. While usually a temple scholar or priest will speak with and attempt to correct the non-believers, periodically, Ordinators of doctrine and ordination will fulfill this role because you have the scholarly training to answer any question and assuage any doubts non-believers may reasonably have, and you are servants of the triunes, who are expected to serve as examples of faithfulness at all times. I have personally seen, after lengthy discussions, non-believers renounce their corrupt beliefs and accept our three gods as their divine lords. The coerced. The Order of War will frequently purge the dens of the worshippers of the House of Troubles, and when you do, show no mercy, for those cultists desire nothing less than the temple's complete destruction. However, they often have slaves who serve their masters solely out of fear of punishment, and because these coerced servants live in pitiable conditions as slaves to evil incarnate, you serve the three and the temple by breaking their chains and wrenching them from the wicked hands of the four corners. Once freed from bondage, these souls may see the truth and come to worship the triunes. Admittedly, it can be difficult to distinguish true, willing servants of the four corners from their coerced servants, and while you must prioritize the completion of your mission and the safety of you and your comrades, if you can save these helpless souls, you should make every reasonable effort to do so. The Doubters. In a perfect world, all Dunmer would remain faithful to the triunes their whole life, but we live in an imperfect world. Were it not so, we Ordinators would not exist. There will be times in most people's lives in which doubt will creep in, and while it is a contagion which can spread if left unchecked, most often the lapse in faith is momentary and can be corrected under supervision. Doubt usually takes hold of laity, although occasionally even members of the clergy will experience it, and while it is nefarious and even dangerous, a good inquisitor will avoid violence and incarceration unless the doubt degrades into vile heresy and the doubter becomes fixed in their incorrectness. Those of you who belong to the Order of the Inquisition are charged with extirpating doubt wherever it may be found, but re-education is always a better means of eliminating uncertainty than force. One moment of doubt does not warrant the death sentence or torture and incarceration. Show mercy and lead the doubters back into the loving and merciful arms of Almsivi. Violence is a fact of life for Ordinators, but it is always better to redeem a heretic than to kill them. This is a lesson which many jaded Ordinators lose sight of after many years of service. But it is something that I wish to instill into all of you. Never let it stray from your mind in the years to come. Discharge your duties faithfully. You represent the temple. Very fantastic book. Right. Doing exactly what you would expect, sort of shedding more light upon the, fascistic order that is the Temple Ordinators. Okay, which just so happens to be what we're going out to sort of carry out, right? We're not quite an Ordinator, but we are carrying out the work of an Inquisitor. Alright, so on the western side, walking north through the Hlalu plantation land, just north of a farmstead called the Rethel House. Okay. Good. And they mentioned that the dome was unmistakable. Okay. What is this place? Warren Plantation. So it should be north of here. Do I see the dome yet? Don't think so. About here. Oh, Rethel Farms storage. Oh look, yeah, there's the dome right there. Perfect. Oh shit, yeah, this is definitely the place. Try and get some heals going on if I can. Okay, let's do a quick save. Hello.
You find all that you seek, traveler.
War Ordinators.
How may I help you, citizen?
The Inquisitor from Elmesthur has arrived. Good. Enter the monastery. Look for any evidence of heresy. Interrogate Galvino Telesi. She's the priestess in charge of the monastery. Then report back to us and let us know if Vys-Assanud needs to be purged. Here, take this potion of fire shield, just in case.
Just in case.
Enter the monastery, Inquisitor. Look for any evidence of heresy. Interrogate Galvino Telesi. She's the priestess in charge of the monastery.
Anything else about Galvino?
She's the priestess in charge of the monastery. You should interrogate her.
Okay. Oh my god, what the fuck happened? Is it supposed to look like this? Oh yeah, this is... We're in need of a good purging here. Look at this shit. Caved in mine? What the fuck is this? Oh my god, there's a big shitload of lava down there. Oh, there's a bunch of torches too. Okay. Pants. Bread. Guess I'll eat the bread. Okay. Got some booze as well. Gotta take all the booze, why not? Take all the torches too. Okay. Let me ready a pick. Got some money. Jeez, look at that. That is busted. Oh man, there's someone dead over there. Yeah, some of their scaffolding collapsed and somebody got blown apart from impact. Okay. Got some wick wheat. I'll take all that. Good. More booze. Why not? Got some moon sugar. Just gonna eat it. Steel Tonto, wood barrel filled with some hound meat. Can actually look inside the pot. Crimson Despair Amulet. Meh. Cutting board. Ruby, I'm gonna eat it. Okay. Man, there's a bunch of stuff. What is this place again? Yeah, this is a temple monastery? What the fuck? Why does it look like this? Okay. Got some bread. No signs of like ash statues or anything, which I would assume would be the first major telltale sign that we need to look out for. Okay. Great, let's check this upper level. Oh, I can't get in there? Oh, there we go. Got some picks. Good clothing. Alrighty. Check the lower level here. More money, more picks. Okay. Nothing too interesting in all of these containers. Alright. Another chest here. Steel Tonto, green lichen. Okay. Let's head upward. I'm gonna need to down some of that booze we picked up. That is no trouble. Anything else here? Potion of light. I guess I'll drink it. Whew, it's very potent. A lot of alcohol. Okay. I guess I'll wait to descend all the way down. Hawkshaw Ring. Yeah, there's definitely a dead-ass person down there. You know what? I'm gonna go down and look now. Oh, shit. Ugh. Okay, I forgot my levitate was on 4 and not 5. Surefeet Shayrel. They're dead. But, I don't know, seems fine. Could have just been an accident. anything else around here? Down under here? Don't think so. Okay. Oh, I'm encumbered. Oh, what is this? There's a chest here. Some money and a silver longsword. Meh. Okay, fun little secret area. Okay, well, let's make way. Head on over here. Oh, there we go. Let me get another torch out as well. Okay, which way should I go? Maybe here to the left? Well, no, maybe we go to the right. This seems a little more conspicuous. Oh! Mummy! Okay. Miner's picks. Sujama. Oh, there's a flame atronak here. Okay. I'm gonna quick save. Annihilated it. Okay, lot of lava. There's a treasure as well. Bunch of money. I don't think there's anything else, though. Nothing heretical. Okay. The mummies are a little questionable. Maybe they knew where they were digging? I don't know. And they were deliberately going to find that little burial area? Or they mummified them deliberately. Okay, up we go. Sure. There's a shirtless man in here. Hello,
There's no
Arvis.
time for talk now. Go.
What is it? Have you come to seek the wisdom of Priestess Galvenu?
I'm here to admire you a bit. Tell me your background.
I am Arvis.
What's up with Vys-Assanud?
If you have any questions about what we do here, please speak with Galveno Telesi. She is wise beyond words.
Okay. Oh, a little encumbered. Gotta scarf that down. Let me also get my torches here readied. I don't see anything bad. Military tactics in the new era. Okay. About over here. Got some shroomage, various sacks. What's this ring? Ring of Firestorm. It's fine.
What is it now?
Poop bucket over there. There's a few stools stacked conspicuously. Not quite enough to be heretical, but certainly something to bear in mind. Okay. Kalara? What brings you to our monastery? Okay. Sure. Let's proceed up here. Do a quick save. I've got one of the mine carts filled with a whole bunch of logs.
What is it now?
Gyron?
What brings you to our monastery?
Okay. This is locked. Okay.
What is
Really?
it now?
You do not follow the teachings of Priestess Galvenu, but ask your questions. Okay. What are the teachings? Are there any ash statues here? Just as well, it may be that they're like a splinter group of people who arrived at the same conclusion as the dissident priests. But I'm betting we're dealing with Sixth House stuff. Okay. Oh. There's a Dremora in here. Okay, hang on. I'll talk to you in a bit. Alright. Oh, that's looking very sinister. Damaged Shrine of Saint Erelor? Yeah, this is looking a little heretical.
Will this
Breva?
take long?
Okay, I don't follow the teachings. Let me admire and bribe you. Nothing new. Okay. Oh, there's a naked man. Alan Ward Mance. Okay. On the importance of heresy. Okay. Sure. What's going on with you?
Get it out or hit the road.
Can I interact with the shrine? This shrine appears to have been defiled. It will not yield blessings until Vys-Assanud has been purified. What does it yield then to me? Yeah, what does it give me? I absorbed it. Fire damage. Ah, okay. Galvino. What brings you to my tower, follower of the temple? Oh, she is tough to persuade. Okay. Background? I'm Galvenu Telesi, the priestess of Vys-Assanud. The temple sent me here to tend to the shrine of Saint Erelor. Tell me about this place. Yes, this is our monastery. May I ask what you're doing here? I'm an inquisitor of the temple. Oh, nothing, just looking around. I'm just looking around. Alright. Okay. Why are there a whole bunch of shirtless men who are seemingly enslaved?
Please, go ahead.
Okay. This guy says,
Psst, you gotta help me and the boys out. That cult leader woman, she's crazy. They do unnatural things here. Unnatural.
goodbye. Okay, well. Alright, what about you? Oh, they all say the same thing. We gotta help the boys out. The boys want help. The Bone Song. Well, definitely seems like there's some little bit of heretical something or other going on. Okay. Anything else of interest here? A steel claymore. Anything else? A ton of arrows. Okay. Hackle low pipe. I wonder if they're becoming... This might not be Sixth House business. Okay, who all is still... Oh no, okay. I was about to say, is it all just Dunmary women and they're capturing human men? Right? Is that what's going on here? But no, there's also a human, or a Dunmary man. Okay, I was wondering if they were on some like Mabri Gosh type shit. Which, to be fair, they still might be. Let me do a quick save. Let's chat with this Dremora back here. Hello. Vysar? It speaks. Tell me your background.
I am Vysar, Kine Reeve of Vys-Assanud. I serve and represent the majestic bringer of destruction that you mortals call Mehrunes Dagon.
You are for Lord Dagon. Okay. Tell me about Galvanu Talesi.
A good little priestess she is. Lord Dagon is most pleased.
Tell me about Lord Dagon.
Yes, he who carries the sun's blaze on his shoulders. The most terrible and the most beautiful of all the princes of Oblivion. This monastery and all the little mortals inside it now belong to him. They have renounced the tribunal, those so-called gods.
Oh, wow. That's very fascinating, Vysar. Tell me about this place.
A nice little monastery, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is. Okay. You got a lot of iron ingots back here, bud. Steel poison sword. Some money. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to pick my way into all these places, huh? Let's see here. Amulet of Shadows. Get my pick readied. Okay. Oh. Oh, this links around. Okay. Sure. I met a Dremora named Vysar who said that the monastery and its inhabitants belong to Mehrunes Dagon. Okay. Hey, what's up with you, Gyron? Okay. Well, let's head over here. Maybe we can get them out. Galvanu. Okay, yeah, I'm kidding. I've been an Inquisitor of the Temple. Oh. Are we suspected of heresy? I will gladly answer any questions you might have, and you're welcome to look around. You seem strange. Why is the Shrine of St. Aerolor defiled? Your slaves told me there's something wrong about this place. Can you explain why there's a Dremora here who's saying that you serve Mehrunes Dagon now? Why is the Shrine of St. Aerolor defiled? That is my fault, I must admit. I've been a poor caretaker. I'm ashamed of the condition the shrine is in, but I can assure you that it hasn't been purposefully damaged or defiled in any way. Surely being negligent isn't a heresy. That's true, it's not. Well, Inquisitor, have you found any evidence of heresy? You seem strange. Not yet, I will look around. Your slaves told me that there's something wrong about this place. That is something one would expect a slave to say, isn't it? They are liars who are trying to win your sympathy, so you might free them. Clever little men. I shall have to punish them for this, but slavery obviously is sanctioned by the temple. It is not heresy. Okay. Can you explain why there's a Dremora here who's saying you serve Lord Dagon now? Nosy Inquisitor. Fine. I admit to it. We no longer follow the false gods of the temple. They are weak and treacherous. We worship the radiant light of creation and destruction that is Lord Dagon. He will lift us up from this sad earth and carry us on his shoulders. He has promised us that he will flood the Thyr and drown the land, and then build a new and better one for us, his faithful children. Go now. You are unworthy of his blessings. Oh, okay. Faced with evidence, Galvanu Talesi admitted to heresy. She said that she has renounced the tribunal and that she and her followers are now acolytes of Lord Dagon. Okay. Yeah. Can we help out the boys in any way? Can we help the boys out here? I don't know that we can. I don't know that we can do that. Okay. I'm gonna quick save. Maybe I can steal the key off of her person? Oh yeah, I did. Okay. Are we gonna get in deep shit for freeing them though? Right in front of her? Okay. Oh, I can't even... Okay, I can't do anything. I have no recourse. Okay. I do like that she has just accumulated shirtless men. that's fucking cool. That's a cool one. Breva says, "You're an enemy of Lord Dagon. Cursed be your name." Okay, yep. I guess I'll just be going then. Alright. I'm heading out. Peacing out, Inquisitor of the Temple. I'm heading out. My assessment is complete. Okay. Yeah, see y'all. Alright, we'll be back. We're gonna do another check-in in just a bit. We're gonna send in the other boys. We're gonna send in the Ordinators to fuck your shit up big time. Okay. Y'all are gonna get purged. Let's see over here. Good. Over this way. Great. And over here and up this. Okay. Oh. Over encumbered. There we go. What's this spooky noise?
How may I help you?
Hey, War Ordinator. Yep, there's heresy all up in there.
You've seen the monastery of Vys-Assanud with your own eyes, Inquisitor. What is your judgment?
Vys-Assanud.
Are the monks guilty of heresy? Shall we purge the monastery? What is your judgment, Inquisitor?
Purge the monastery. Don't purge the monastery. Let them live. Wait a minute. Let me think about this. Yeah, we gotta purge it. Purge the monastery. Purge them.
As it was decreed, so it shall be done. We will put every single one of these heretics to the sword and wash away their sins with blood. Please join us, Inquisitor.
Shouting war cries. The Ordinators of War enter the monastery. You should follow them. I should follow them? Okay, what did I write? Faced with evidence, yeah, they're acolytes of Mehrunes Dagon now. I told the War Ordinators that the monastery of Vys-Assanud needs to be purged. They asked me to join the purge. It's purging time, baby! It's purging time! Let's head on in. Do you think they'll purge the shirtless men as well? I would imagine. Right, we're talking about the Ordinators here. They're probably completely unscrupulous. Let's see, I'm gonna drink a Monster on the way in, too. Okay. Over and around here. It's amazing that they found their way in. All these twists and turns, my god, man. Okay. Oh, there we go. The purging is underway. Okay. Arvis. Anything good on you? Not really. Look at the purging go.
Stupid!
Anything that you have? Common robe? Nope. Damn. This is so wild. This is so cool that you get to see this part of the Tribunal Temple. This is fun. Well done, brothers of the temple. Slay the demon! Slay the Dremora! Well done.
3 blessings, initiate.
3 blessings to you as well. Okay. Let me down another one of these suckers right here. Oh. Great Mace of Hellfire. Oh, that's kind of unique, huh? That's a unique one. Guess I'll take it. Some sort of weapon of heretical purposes. Silver Staff of Reckoning. Whoa, paralyzed for 5 seconds on strike. Drain attribute speed 1 to 10 points for 10 seconds. Absorb willpower. Poison Mirror Robe. Cast when used. I'll take it all. Okay.
The heretics have been crushed. Vys-Assanud belongs to the temple once more.
I fucking love it. He's so fucking zealous. Okay. Anything else in here? I guess I could take these hammers and shit. Okay. I'll leave the apprentice one, though. Okay. And what of the shirtless men up here? Oh, what of the shrine? Have I fixed it? It's providing me a boon of some sort. Oh there. You killed that crazy cultist woman. You gotta let me out. Find the key, please, so I can go free. There you go, go free. You have the key. Will you let me go free? Yeah, here you go. Why not? Okay. Just don't forget the Tribunal Temple. Feel free to sign up at a temple monastery near you. There's one not too far off. Don't forget who helped you all. It's rare, but we do accept Outlanders as well. Look at me. I'm an Outlander. Okay. I'm an Inquisitor and an Outlander. What a amazing turn of events. Okay, do I have any other booze that I can utilize here on my way out? I think so. Good. Alright, well, that went well.
May you find all that you seek, traveler. Greetings, Outlander. Don't I know you from under sun and
Was there more alcohol in here that I should take?
greet you warmly.
No, okay. Let's head back out through here. Good, good, good. Yeah, getting to see more of the Ordinators and stuff in action. Once again, you know, as has often been the case with Tamriel Rebuilt, they're sort of, making use of the idea of them being able to, like, fill in the gaps, you know? They're fulfilling stuff that was previously all telling with zero showing. Now we've got actual quests that are show don't tell. Or I guess a both a combination of it. Right? Now we actually get to have quests that involve us seeing Ordinators going to work. Granted, we do get to see a bit of them in action in the main story quest, but they're all ones that are doing, like, beating down the dissident priests and all of that. This is more akin to, like, their business as usual. Okay. Out and around here. Drink some of that. Good. Alright. And then let me put down a marker. Cleared. Lovely. And then let's try and get all the way back to Almastur, huh? Let's see. Let me get my water walking active as well. Oh, shit. There we are. Well, that really simplified things, huh? Okay, cool. And then, let me get another torch at the ready. I don't know, I kind of enjoy going around with the torches. It's very fun in a roleplay sense.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. Good, good, good. Let's head on up over here. Nope, gotta drink some more booze to carry around all this shit. We should definitely go back to Endothrin and deposit our new crap before long. Maybe after we get this quest turned in. Okay. Up and over here. Office of Intercession.
Please join that off, please.
Okay.
You've
Eileen
gathered
Taloth.
Your attention, Outlander.
Go to Vys-Assanud, Inquisitor, and do your duty. I've done it. I hear you purged the monastery of Vys-Assanud. I know it must have been a heavy choice to make, but rest assured that you did the right thing. We already knew that a purge would be necessary. I simply wished to see how you'd handle yourself, and you did well. We cannot be soft with heretics. I want you to take these spell scrolls as a reward. You've worn the mantle of the Inquisitor well. Now give it back to me, Initiate. Okay. I can choose to just keep it. Yeah, here you go. Have it back. Thank you, Initiate. I have other duties for you now. I wonder what the hell would happen if you just kept it. Huh. Okay. Other duties. The conflict between House Indoril and House Lalu rears its ugly head once again. You're needed as the mediator in the shadows, so a house war can be avoided. Oh, cool. Okay. Mediator in the shadows. Actually, tell me about Vys-Assanud again. That's not your problem anymore. Mediator. I have reason to believe that two houses are headed for a violent confrontation, which needs to be suppressed. However, the conflict is only emerging and still without a clear shape. I don't know who of the key people in both houses are involved in its making. Your skills as a mediator and an investigator are needed. You need to be careful who you choose to talk to and who you keep in the dark. There are those on both sides of the river who would welcome a house war. Can I trust you, Initiate? Yeah, tell me more. Nah, I don't feel too confident about this. Yeah, tell me more. Good. Now, remember the letter Idira Voron asked you to deliver to Indoril Donvas? I have made some inquiries since then. I've written letters to both sides of the river and got some answers, though I still don't know the full story. What I've learned is that the young lord has been trying to track down a high-ranking Indoril retainer named Adamaris Saldro, who went missing here in Almasthir. My sources tell me that he is wound up on the western bank of the Thir, a prisoner of the Hlalu. I find this situation most alarming. If I've been able to uncover this much, I'm sure that Indoril Donvas already knows full well Adamaris Saldro has been captured and probably where exactly he's being kept. We can only pray that he hasn't told these news. Oh, it's a typo. This news to his father, Lord Indoril Ilvi. Imprisoning or killing common foot soldiers or spies is one thing, but to kidnap a noble retainer, Indoril Ilvi wouldn't hesitate to contact the Morag Tong and start a house war over this transgression. Go to Roadir and speak with Indoril Donvas. Tell him that the temple knows that he's trying to find Adamaris Saldro and convince him to let him help you. Okay. Tell me more about Saldro? I don't know the exact circumstances of his capturing, but I'd imagine that the Hlalu wouldn't have imprisoned a high-ranking Indoril out of a whim. Not when they know that the Indoril would not take this lightly. You might want to ask Idura Veron about him. Since that silly girl was writing letters to Indoril Donvis, maybe she knows something about the current whereabouts of Adamaris. Okay. How about Ilvi again? The Lord of Roadir has many sons, many creedmen, and many warriors and assassins. He is determined to reclaim the old ancestral lands of House Indoril to the west, and he should not be afraid to wage war against the Hlalu to achieve this dream. He is not to be trifled with. Or he would not be afraid. Okay, tell me more on Almasthur itself, maybe? Almasthur has many roles, Outlander. A stronghold, a bridge, a place of pilgrimage. From its canton, the temple watches over the Unthiran region, while the Bloodstone Shrine marks where St. Veloth crossed the Great Thir River, leading the Chimer people to salvation. To this day, the faithful continue to follow in his path, passing in great numbers day after day. Okay. Tell me more about being a mediator in the shadows. Go to Roadir and speak with Indoril Donvis. Tell him that the temple knows that he's trying to find Adamiris Saldro, and convince him to let him help you. Okay. Tell me more about the Office of Intercession. If you believe you were wronged by a member of the temple, or fear that our dogmas were misinterpreted or abused, you may leave a plea here. We will make sure everything was in accordance with the sacred texts and decrees of the Almsivi, and punish the guilty if necessary. Okay, fair enough. Good. Well, let me recall. And we'll stash some of this stuff. Which, frankly, I'm not sure how much of it is unique. You know, the stuff that we had just gotten. Okay, there we go. Pop that down. And pop that down right there. Great. Okay. Put on this old robe. And as well, we could leave a lot of this booze here. Let's see, can I fit anything else into my chest here? I can fit a few things in there. Okay, perfect. Oh, the grief will not fit. Okay. I guess I can ditch Barris's diving helmet too, since I've got the other one that's way more potent. Good. Okay, and then I think we're fine for now, right? Yeah, let me do a little quick repair. I don't even need to. Fantastic. All right. Well, you know what? I think maybe we'll call it here for now. And when next we return, we'll try to defuse this explosive situation that once again is boiling over. I wonder if the usual Kalisha slash what's his name? Idura, the two of them, if they're involved once again somehow. Perhaps more indirectly, because they serve more as like a casus belli, I would say. Anyway, if you'd like to stick around, we will be doing a bit of reading, though maybe a more substantial amount of reading. Predominantly in the name of clearing out some of these heavy as hell books, right? I went and previewed a bit of them, and they're all like decently short, and frankly, seemingly kind of uninteresting, right? These are very much within the realm of nonfiction, but each one weighs 4 units, and we've got 7 of them, right? So if you'd like to stick around, we will be finally reading Lex Imperii, and we're going to read all 7 volumes, because as you just saw, they're decently short. If you'll excuse me, though, real quick, I am going to take a quick drink. Apologies. All right, Lex Imperii, Volume 1. 1. The Empire is law, the law is sacred. 2. The law is empire, to be promulgated under the rule of the Emperor Cyrodiil. 3. The rule of the Emperor Cyrodiil is sacred and legitimate under law. Ellipses. I-7? 1-7? The Citizen. Or 1-8, even. 1. The citizen is they, born under the benevolent rule of the Emperor Cyrodiil. 2. Let law, duty, and the exercise of rights flow freely from the status of citizen. 3. Let law, duty, and the exercise of rights be in accordance to the citizen's caste, race, or inherent nobility in adherence to the provincial codices. 4. That all born under the rule of the Emperor Cyrodiil, being all of the lands and provinces of Tamriel and its protectorates, be considered citizens, the year which shall succeed the period of their majority. 5. That all children born under the rule of the Emperors of Cyrodiil, be they children born in the lands and provinces of Tamriel, or be they born elsewhere, be considered citizens from the year which shall succeed the period of their majority, when in accordance to the underlying statutes. 6. That a stranger of strange lands shall enjoy the same civil rights accorded to true citizens of the Empire in this stranger's land of origin, by treaty or by grace of the Emperor Cyrodiil, or by their ennobled representatives. 7. That an outsider of the principality shall not enjoy civil rights as others, but be judged and treated as according to the codices befitting the denizens of oblivion. Ellipses. 1.9? Is that how would you read this? I don't know how you would read this part. This, formality. Indigence of citizenship. 1. The quality of citizenship may be lost by naturalization in strange lands, acclimatization in principalities, assumption of further function in either strange lands or principalities, adoption in sodalities, which shall require distinctions of birth, enrollment, or association in military service of strange lands or principalities. Any settlements made in extramundial territories without intention of return. Extramundial territories? As in, one's not in this plane of existence? I guess, like it said, denizens of oblivion. Okay. It's very funny that they do include stuff like this here in their legislature. 2. The quality of citizenship may not be lost by commercial or mercantile establishment, this being in accordance to the natural proclivities of man. 3. A citizen deprived of their quality may at any time recover it by sanction and judgment of the emperor or their ennobled representatives. Ellipses. Huh. Okay. Volume 2. 2.3. Acts and Declaration before the Imperial authorities. 1. The records of imperial power shall declare year and day at which they shall be received. The declared name, surname, if existent and apposite, and age of those who shall be therein mentioned. 2. The executor of imperial power shall insert nothing in the act other than what is declared by the parties relevant. 3. Warrants and papers of note shall be marked by glyph in such a way as to be legible and traceable by elder scroll and deposited in duplicate for the safekeeping of the Concordian archives. 4. Any act done in a civil court of a strange place by a citizen of empire shall be deemed valid. if it is recorded in such a way as to be legible and traceable by Elder Scroll. 5. Every act done in a civil court of a strange place by a citizen of Empire shall be deemed valid, if acknowledged conformable to law by diplomatic agents or commissioners of Empire for commercial relations. 6. That offense to preceding articles committed by executors of imperial power be prosecuted by blood or quill, and punished with a fine not exceeding 500 septims, or their lawful equivalent, or death. 2.3i. 2.3.i? Yeah, how the fuck do you read this? Okay. Nascency. 1. Declarations of birth be made within 5 days of delivery to the imperial executor of the place of birth. 2. Be mentioned the day and place of birth, the sex of infant, the name which shall be given, birth sign, and parents and or witnesses those names and professions and domicile. 3. That of newborn orphans, the finder shall carry these to an executor of imperial power, or a follower true to Maratic law, or a saint of proven infantine disposition, and declare these the circumstances of time and place, and also the child apparent, age and sex and name. 4. If the child be born at sea, that the act of birth be drawn up in 9 hours in the presence of a parent, if at hand, and of 2 witnesses chosen from the vessel's officers, or for want from the ship's crew. 5. If this the child be born on starlit sojourn, that the act of birth be drawn up in 9 hours, presence of linear time permitting, in the presence of a parent, if at hand, and of 2 witnesses chosen from the vessel's officers, or for want from the vessel's crew. 6. That the act of taking knowledge be inscribed in the registers, at its date. 2.3. I lowercase. I don't fucking know. Marriage by creed or citizen consent. 1. That the act of marriage may be performed either by consent or before a deity or spirit of choice. 2. That the deity or spirit of choice be manifest or be of proven marital disposition, be it the divine Mara, a servant resplendent of the divine Mara, or a saint of marital disposition, or otherwise a spirit or deity of marital disposition. This is so fucking weird. 3. That the deity or spirit of choice be represented by a priest, preacher, initiate, monk, hermit, holy fool, elder, hierarch, curate, cleric, elder, primate, oracle, prelate, or ecclesiastic proven knowledgeable of the inner mysteries of the deity or spirit of choice. 4. That the act of marriage by citizen consent be witnessed by at least 2 attesters of good standing, or by a representative or executor of imperial power. 5. Declaration of marriage be made within 3 days of union to the imperial executor of the place of union, either by the 2 partners both present, or by either partner accompanied by their witnesses, representatives of deity, saint, or spirit, or representative of imperial power, or by the equivalent attestation in writing. 6. Acts of opposition to a marriage be signed, both original and copy, by the parties in opposition or their legal representatives, and communicated both to the part and imperial executor, or else delivered at the domicile of these parties. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that they do have in law, right? They permit more than just like the imperial cult being the like deific beings under which you can be wed, I suppose. Okay, 2.3.3 lowercase i's. Decease. 1. That no interment, cremation, moth consumption, or other burial take place without a written authority from the imperial executor of the place of death, free of charge, and that this written authority may not be delivered until the imperial executor or their representative have been conducted to the deceased person to assure themselves of the death actual. Does consuming a moth kill you? What are we saying? 2. The act of civil death be drawn up by an imperial executor or their representative, or by a servant of arcane, spelled in the way of arcane, right? Of arcane, maybe that's how you said it. Not arcane, but arcane disposition, which of course, they preside over death. On the declaration of 2 witnesses in good standing with the community. 3. The act of death shall contain the name, surname, if existent, and apposite, age, profession, and domicile of the deceased person. Name and surname, if existent, and apposite of their consort, if applicable, name and surname, if existent and apposite, age, profession, and residence of their deponents, and if related, their degree of affinity. 4. In case of death in a legion hospital, civil or public edifice, Maratic sanatorium. What is a Maratic sanatorium? Or Mara, right? Maratic sanatorium. Mara has sanatoriums? Or imperial prison. The master of this edifice is required to notify the imperial executor within 48 hours. Furthermore, register of death shall be kept in the aforesaid edifices. 5. When any sign or mark of violent death or other circumstances which give rise to suspicion shall appear, interment shall not take place until an imperial executor, office of the watch, servant of arcane disposition, or doctor in the magic of physic has drawn up a statement of condition and of circumstances. 6. Keepers of record within an imperial prison are required within 24 hours after the execution of justice resulting in death to transmit to the imperial executor at the relevant place all relevant information, after which the act of death shall be reduced to writing. 7. Prisoners condemned to death by an imperial executor of justice or prisoners in custody of the imperial prison system who are deceased in any other manner, natural or unnatural, forfeit the rights to their mortal remains? Really? 8. The mortal remains of prisoners thus executed in otherwise deceased in imperial custody may be released to their next of kin in return for a fee, the weight of which is dependent on the crime committed by the deceased citizen. 9. If no legitimate next of kin is willing to claim the mortal remains of the deceased, they may be disposed of by the master of this prison edifice or by a lawful imperial executor, either by interring the body with the proper arcane ritual or by selling the body to an accredited mage, scholar, necromancer, or individual of noble birth. What the fuck? They will sell your damn ass, dead ass body if you die within their reach? Like in a prison? What the fuck? Mind you, this is text from Tamriel Rebuilt, so, it's canon until it isn't. Still, this is fucking wild. 2.3.4 lowercase for the 4. Acts of a civil nature regarding the Legion in the provincial territories. 1. Acts of a civil nature within the provincially administered territories concerning the military or personae attached to the Legion shall be committed to writing in forms prescribed by preceding regulations. 2. The captain or commander of every company shall discharge the functions of an imperial executor, whether a governor, prefect, or other representative of imperial power is not present. The same function will be discharged by a military inspector at reviews. 3. With every body of troops, a register shall be kept of acts of a civil nature relative to individuals of the corps, and another with a staff officer of the Legion or Legion Division. 4. The register shall be endorsed and marked with glyph in every corps by the commanding officer. 5. Declarations of birth in the army shall be made within 10 days succeeding the delivery. 6. Declarations of marriage among the military shall be made at the last known domicile of both parties. 7. Acts of death shall be drawn up in every company by the quartermaster or officer, or by the inspector at reviews. Ellipses. What the fuck? Who decided to write all this shit? Okay. Okay. Lex Imperii 3, Volume 3. This one's very short. Oh, no, never mind. It's medium length again. Oh, shorter. Short to medium. Let's see. 3.4. Domicilia. 1. The domicile of every imperial citizen is, as pertains the exercise of their civil privileges, that place which is their principal establishment. 2. Change of domicile shall be effected by circumstance of actual habitation, accompanied by true intent of fixing principal establishment in this place. 3. Proof of intent may be collected by express declaration to the magistrates of such a place, which the citizen shall quit, as to those of the place where they wish to settle. 4. A citizen called to public office must preserve their former domicile, unless they manifest a contrary intention. 5. Acceptance of offices bestowed for life shall import immediate removal of the dignitary's domicile to the place where they are to exercise their office. Ellipses. 3.21, is that what that is? The notion of property. Okay. I wonder if this will delve into, like, slavery as well, and, like, how it covers them permitting slavery under Morrowind. You know? How they, like, grandfathered that system in. 1. All property is immovable, movable, or of arcane nature. 3.21.1.1.1, with the last one being lowercase. Is this meant to mimic, like, real fucking law books? What kind of freakish nerd wrote all this? This is ridiculous. This is absurd. This is so beyond the pale. Immovable property. 1. Property is immovable by nature, by destination, or by object to which it is applied. 2. The soil of the earth and buildings which shore foundations are immovable by nature. 3. Crops hanging by the roots and fruit not yet gathered are immovable by nature. If the crop is harvested, but not yet carried away, it becomes movable. If only part of the crop is cut, only such a part alone is movable. I guess that makes sense. 4. Livestock which is a proprietor agrees to give up to a tenant of farmer for the purpose of cultivation is regarded as immovable in pursuance of this agreement. What? Livestock which a proprietor agrees to give up to a tenant of farmer for the purpose of cultivation? So, I guess because they don't have a means to transport, like, large amounts of livestock? Maybe? 3.21.1.2, with the last two being lowercase. Movable property. 1. Property is movable by nature by determination of law. 2. Movable in nature are all bodies which may be transported from place to place, be they animals or inanimate objects. 3. Movable by determination of law are bonds and actions relating to sums demandable or personal effects, actions, and interests in companies for objects of finance, commerce, or industry, or perpetual or life annuities. 4. Boats, ferries, vessels, hako skiffs, junk, ships, and gondolas are all movable. 5. Articles arising... Really? They're all movable? All of them? I mean, I guess they are. But you would think that given that livestock, there's a big case for livestock to be considered immovable. You would think that there should also be a big case for these various vessels to be also considered immovable. 5. Articles arising from the demotion of an edifice or the construction of a new one are movable until they are employed by the artificer of this edifice. Articles arising from them? 3.21.1.3 Arcane property. 1. Arcane property is neither movable nor immovable by nature, but can only be considered as movable or immovable by determination of law. 2. Property normally considered immovable, made movable by application of arcane energies, is considered movable. What the fuck have I decided to read this week? Until such the application of arcane energies ceases to be. 3. Property normally considered movable, made immovable by application of arcane energies, retains its status as movable property, regardless of the application of arcane energies. 4. Rooms, houses, settlements, or otherwise locations that have been reduced to a movable state by application of arcane energies, be it by reduction in size or folding or transference to a private realm, are considered movable if their method of accession is movable. Immovable if their method of accession is immovable. Ellipses. I mean, I guess, you know what? That's fair. The most fucked up part of reading this is how much of it actually makes sense to me. That's maybe the most terrifying thing of all. Right? This is like the most fucked up weird part of all of it, is that a lot of it makes sense. This is so weird and esoteric and like dealing in such ridiculous minutia that now I'm beginning to wonder, was this even made in Tamriel Rebuilt? Or is this like some weird shit in Daggerfall? Right? Is this some weird shit in Daggerfall that like fucking Ken Rolston just penned one night? It was like, well, we need to come up with like law, right? We need to come up with like the rule of law for the land under which we can operate. You know, we wrote this on a fucking whiteboard, or well, probably at the time more likely some paper, right? Like a big tablet of paper or whatever, or a blackboard even. Anyway. They may as well convert it into what exists in the game. I feel like that's just as believable as this being a work from Tamriel Rebuilt. Lex Imperii, Volume 4. How long is this one? Okay, about the same length. 4.11. 1. Private citizens have free disposition of their property, theirs, subject to modifications established by law. 2. Property not belonging to private citizens is administered by an imperial executor and cannot be alienated except in the forms and in pursuance of peculiar regulations. 3. Highways, roads, and streets, passable rivers and streams, shores, ports, and ship roads, and all areas of imperial territory which are not susceptible to private proprietorship are considered property of the emperor and dependencies of the imperial domain. Oh, fuck. Okay. So there's no such thing as... Well, no, there are such things as these being private. Okay. So any that are not already declared as being privately owned are not technically owned by the state, but literally owned by the emperor. Huh. Okay. 4. All unclaimed and ownerless property, and that of persons who die without heir are property of the emperor. Which, in a certain sense, you know, the emperor's got so much shit that it may as well, something being considered property of the emperor is roughly equivocal to being property of the state, you know, property of the empire. That said, if ever an emperor did want to make the distinction, they could, you know, they could be like, well, I permit this to be property and used by the state and used by the citizenship, but in this one instance, I've decided that this is actually mine personally, you know, and is mine to do with as I see fit. Right? Basically, it means like, if ever an emperor wanted to, they could be like, okay, the public can no longer use this. This is mine. 5. All gates, moats, ramparts, or places of war and fortresses erected by the legion are property of the emperor. 6. Common property is that to the ownership or produce of which the inhabitants of one or more communes have acquired right. Huh. Ellipses. 4.22, I think. Rights of usufruct? I don't even know this word. Commons and habitation. 4.22.1. Right of usufruct. I guess we're about to find out what the fuck it means. Maybe, is this a fictional word or is this a real word? What the fuck am I doing reading this? I should have never picked these fucking books up. 1. Usufruct is the right of enjoying the advantage of things that are in the rightful property of the proprietor citizen, in the same manner as the proprietor citizen, but on condition of this right being agreeable with the preservation of the substance of the thing proper. 2. Usufruct is established by law or by citizen consent. 3. Usufruct may be established in simple manner or by condition. 4. Usufruct may be established over every species of property, movable, immovable, or of arcane nature. 5. In order to enjoy usufruct, the citizens involved must first establish security and make inventory of the property in question. Okay. What? 4.22.2. Right of commons and habitation. 1. The right of commons and habitation are established and forfeited in the same manner as those of usufruct. 2. Likewise, the rights of commons and habitation cannot be enjoyed without first establishing security and making inventory of the property in question. 3. A citizen who enjoys right of habitation must care for his property as a proper citizen befits. 4. Citizens who have right of commonage over the fruits of an estate may not exploit these for more than is necessary to their wants or those of their next of kin. What? Huh. Right of commonage. Okay, I see. 5. Citizens who have right of commonage cannot yield or let this right to others. Okay. 6. Citizens who have right of habitation in a domicile may bring their family to live there even if they were not married at the time when the right of habitation was conferred upon them. 7. The right of habitation can neither be ceded nor hired. 8. Commonage in woods, forests, jungle, and other places of wilderness are regulated by particular law or by the will of the emperor if they fall under his direct territories. Really? Ellipses. Okay. Oh, this is, hang on. We're on 5 now, I think? Yeah. Okay. This one's very short. Lex Imperii Volume 5. 5.4. Servitude or manorial services. 1. A servitude is a charge imposed upon an estate for the use and benefit of an estate belonging to another proprietor. 2. Servitude does not establish any preeminence over one estate over another. 3. Servitude is derived either from the natural situation of places or from obligations imposed by law, or from agreements between citizen proprietors. 4. Inferior lands are subjected to receive the waters that flow naturally from superior lands, where the hand of man has not contributed to. 5. A citizen who possesses a spring or source of fresh water on their lands may make use of it at their pleasure, saving the right which the proprietor of a lower field may have acquired by title or by prescription. 6. Prescription may be acquired by uninterrupted enjoyment during the space of 30 years. Okay. 7. The citizen proprietor cannot change the course of a spring or waterway when it supplies the inhabitants of a community, village, estate, city, outpost, or any other settlement for their necessary use. Fascinating. Wow. I don't think that's how it works in the United States, actually. Right? I think in the United States of America, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you own, like it says here, like a spring or waterway, you actually could theoretically close it off from a community, village, estate, city, outpost, or any other settlement. You could remove it from them if you bought it, right? As fucked up as that sounds, I think that's actually how it works in the US. Right? Which, big surprise, the United States legislature operates in a fucked up way. But I'm pretty sure, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might actually be contrary to how it works in reality, at least for the United States of America. 8. A citizen proprietor whose estate borders on a running water that is not declared a dependency of the imperial domain may employ it in any way he deems fit, as long as this does not befoul or unduly diminish the waterway. 9. A citizen proprietor whose estate is crossed by a running water, may employ it in any way he deems fit, on condition that the ordinary course of the water is restored at the boundary of their estate. 10. Every citizen proprietor may compel his neighbor to determine the common boundaries of their estates. Such determining must be at their common expense. 11. Every proprietor may enclose their estate. 12. Every proprietor who encloses their estate loses the rights to free pasturage and wilderness in proportion to the land he withdraws. Really? What would the rights of free pasturage and wilderness be then? Huh. Okay. Fascinating. Okay. Volume 6. 6.6. Succession. 1. Successions are opened by natural or civil death. 2. A succession is opened by civil death from the moment at which that death is noted to have incurred conformably the regulations of 2.3.3.2. What the fuck? And the last 2 in that isn't even in like Roman, right? It's in an Arabic character, I think. 3. If several citizens, respectively, the successors of each other, perish by one and the same accident, or in such close succession that it is not possible to ascertain the order of death, the presumption of survivorship is determined by specific circumstances or by force of age. 4. The order of succession among legitimate heirs is regulated by law, in defect of such, by the judgment of an order of acadic authority. What is acadic? Acadic. I don't know. Yeah, I do not know. In defect of such, the property passes to natural children, afterwards to the father or mother surviving. In absence of those, to the property of the emperor. 5. A stranger of strange lands or an outsider of the principalities cannot succeed to property. 6. Unworthy to succeed are those heirs who have been condemned for having caused the death or attempted to cause the death of the defunct. 7. Unworthy to succeed are those heirs who attempted to bring against the defunct a capital charge adjudged malicious. 8. Unworthy to succeed are those heirs being of age who failed to report the death of the defunct to the imperial executor. Really? If you failed to report the death? Okay. 6.10 Donation. 1. In donation, the donor deprives themselves of the thing given in favor of the recipient, who receives it both actually and irrevocably. 2. In testament or will, the testator disposes of the whole or the part of his property for such a time as when he no longer exists upon the arena supramundus. What the fuck? 3. To take up permanent residence in the principalities is considered a factual cessation of existence upon the arena supermundus. Is this what we call it? The arena supermundus? And as such, a valid reason for the execution of one's testament or will. The arena supermundus is such a wild term. I'm floored by its very existence. 4. The testator is at liberty to revoke his testament or will at any time during life. 5. A testator who is would you even say testator or is it testator? Who is confirmed deceased or no longer bound to existence upon the arena supermundus, but nevertheless manages to communicate through necromantic means, is no longer at liberty to revoke his testament or will. 6. Any condition included in a will or testament that runs counter to law or morality shall be reputed as unwritten. What? Number 5 here is so fucking wild. A testator who is confirmed deceased or no longer bound to existence upon the arena supermundus, but nevertheless manages to communicate through necromantic means, is no longer at liberty to revoke his testament or will. You can't revoke it? So even if you're dead, but you are communicating through necromancy or something, or you are a fucking ghost, right? Or if you are no longer bound to this existence, right? So if you are banished to like another plane of existence, and yet you are able... Yeah, what if you come back, though? What if you're just banished to another plane of existence and then you come back? Your will still goes through and you lose all your shit? The line of succession is heeded? And possibly it goes to a successor or to literally the emperor? What the fuck? Am I reading this right? Okay. Fuck it, man. Fuck it. Volume 7, the last of them. This is such a weird fuck. This might be, you know, we've read a lot of weird books. This might be the weirdest shit I've ever read in this fucking YouTube channel. Right? This is so fucking weird, and like the jargon that it utilizes is so fucking like litigious in nature. Like it's in a class of its own. Lex Imperii, Volume 7. Ellipses, 7.13, Sales. 1. A sale is an agreement according to which one citizen is bound to deliver an object and another citizen to provide payment. 2. A sale is complete between the parties, and as such, property is acquired in law by the purchaser with regards to the seller on the moment the object of the sale and the price are agreed on. 3. A sale may be absolute or conditional. 4. When bulk merchandise is not sold in bulk, but by weight or measure, the sale is not complete until the goods are weighed, counted, or measured. As such, it remains at the risk of the vendor. 5. If the good is sold in bulk, the sale is considered perfect, even when the merchandise has not been weighed, counted, or measured. 6. With respect to wine, oil, and other products which persons are in the habit of tasting before making purchase thereof, the sale is not complete so long as the citizen purchasing them has not tasted and approved of them. Ellipses. 7.22. The capacity to buy and sell. I assume that you don't have a habit of tasting and making a purchase thereof an item which you would already, like, colloquially assume, like, you would... It's assumed that you know how it tastes, right? If I go to buy a kwama egg, it is presumed that that is such a common thing, right? And they don't... and you're not in a situation where you're, like, doing fine kwama egg tasting, right? Where you already would know what it tastes like, you know? But in some situations, they would be like, oh, I'm a fine liquor seller, you know? I'm selling fine liquor, which there are distinct differences between the taste. And it's not just like, yeah, I'm selling Sujama or I'm selling Cyrodiilic brandy. Roughly, they all taste, you know that Cyrodiilic brandy tastes roughly like this and Sujama tastes roughly like that. There are some distinctions between breweries and all of that, but you roughly know what you're getting. However, if I'm in the situation where I'm, like, dealing with, like, for instance, nobility, a nobility caste, and I'm selling, like, okay, this is all Cyrodiilic brandy, or this is all wine, right? There's a distinction to be made of, like, a vintage of, like, Cyrilli Brothers wine versus Tamika's West Weald wine, right? Versus, like, Shadow Banish wine or something like that. Under those circumstances, there probably is an expectation that the buyer ought to be able to taste it and approve of it to confirm that this is what they are buying, right? Whereas if you're just buying, like, yeah, here's some Cyrilli Brothers wine, you know? I'm a merchant selling this to you. You roughly know that what you are getting. You're getting wine made by the Cyrilli Brothers, right? And maybe even going that far, there is maybe room to say, like, everyone has an understanding of the vintage of this wine, you know? Maybe there's already that common understanding ahead where you don't need to taste it. This is so fucking wild. This is such a weird fucking anthology of books, dude. Who wrote all this? This is so fucking weird. This has got to be the most fucking wild off my whole ass thing that I've ever read. Anyway, 7.22, the capacity to buy and sell. 1. All citizens not under interdict of law are capable of buying and selling. 2. The following citizens are forbidden to become purchasers on pain of nullity: guardians of property, factors of goods which they are tasked with selling, administrators of common or public establishments, imperial executors tasked with the care of imperial property. Okay, that makes sense. 3. Everything that is considered the object of commerce may be sold, unless law of particular nature prohibits it. 4. Any sale of property owned by another citizen is null. Ellipses. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What a weird fucking series of books. Like I said, made all the more strange when you get into like the unique circumstances of like writing into law legislature that must exist within a fantasy universe where fucking magic exists, where fucking ghosts and gods and spirits and shit are like a profound truth that you can just go outside and bear witness to a fucking ghost as it kills your neighbor or something like that. Or like someone comes back and talks from the dead. What a ridiculous anthology of what possesses a human being to go out and write a bunch of books such as these for a fictional world. I am aghast, but honestly, I am also impressed. I cannot help but be reminded of all the weird shit that like Gene Roddenberry and co wrote for Star Trek. All the like technical manuals about how that universe functions. This feels very much in the same vein, you know? There's like untold amounts of technical manuals for early Star Trek about like how various starships and technologies function, right? There's like a ridiculous amount of degree of minutia afforded, which like I said, it's incredibly, this is incredibly reminiscent of that, you know? I think it's both, it's equal measures flabbergasting as it is remarkable and impressive. Anyway, what a fucking world. When next we return, I guess our duties continue with the Tribunal Temple. We have more to settle between House Indoril and House Slalu once again. Until next time, please take care of each other.